Now, this gentleman is remarkable, down to earth, loved by many, appreciated by even some more. And he's lived in Ghana for 50 years of his life, voluntarily. He's naturalized at some point, 2013, when he got his Ghanaian passport. He's a missionary. When he preaches the word, you fall in love with him. When he talks to the children, they get closer to him like grandpa and daddy. And you should see him working at the Princess Mary Louise Hospital wholeheartedly, and even more so with people who have been afflicted with leprosy. I'm talking about none other than Reverend Father Campbell. Nilante, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning.
Why do they call you Nilante?
Because I worked in Accra for 22 years, in the center of Accra.
Okay.
I was there from 1976, 77. I've been there for over 22 years, and I knew all the chiefs. I was a chaplain to PMM, Princess Mary Louise Hospital. I was chaplain to Usher Fort in James Fort Prison.
Right.
I used to bless all the boats on the seafront there. So I was part of the scene there, as it were. So I knew the chiefs quite well. I used to eat the homo with them, the play and the odalo and all.
Right.
So I knew them pretty well.
I see. Now, congratulations, I should say to
Thank you very
for
much.
all the good work that you've done. Why did you decide to come to Accra voluntarily in 1971, of all the places in the world?
When I was a young boy in school, in primary school, I was only in primary, maybe 4 or 5, I read magazines on the lives of missionaries in Africa. And that's when the seed was sown. And then meeting priests who'd been to Africa, talking about their experience of Africa, that gave me that desire that one day I'll go to Africa and be a priest. So, and then when I was 13, I finished primary school. I finished primary school when I was 13. And I told my parents, look, I want to go to the seminary. I want to go to secondary school. And they said, look, there's no money in the house. Sorry, you'll have to go and work. So I was a laborer at the age of 13.
I see.
But I always kept in mind, I want to go to the seminary. I want to go to Africa. So at 15, I went to the minor seminary, which is the secondary. And I did my secondary in 3 years. So at the age of 18, I made my decision. I'm going to join the Divine Word Missionaries. They're a congregation, about 5,000 men all over the world in different congregations in different countries. So I decided to join them formally at the age of 18. And from then on, I'm here. So I volunteered for Africa. At that time, Africa was the only country that our congregation was working in. Now it's in all over Africa. But that's what brought me here, that I hadn't a notion as regards Africa. I had hardly ever talked to a black person. In Dublin, there was very, 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 very few. He didn't have any contact. When I worked as a nurse, during my long vacation in school. I worked as a nurse, and I met some Ghanaians when over in England, over in Liverpool. Apart from that, I had no idea what Africa was like, what I didn't know.
Were you shocked when you first touched ground?
Was I shocked? It took me a while to get used to it. I must say, it was that culture shock. The climate, Ireland is cold at times, cold and wet. You come here, the climate very hot. The mosquitoes, the cockroaches, and then the food was completely different. The food. I mean, I never heard of fufu before. I never heard of komi or komi, and then. But I got used to it over the time. But at that time, after I arrived, I was only here a short while, about 2 or 3 months, when I got a telegram to tell me that my eldest sister was killed in a motorbike accident. And I had to go home for that. I missed the funeral. But I came back, but it was hard. It was hard settling down, trying to settle down. And then she was very, very close to me, and to try to get over all of that. But I managed. I came with another priest. So he left. He only stayed 3 months and he left. So he left me on my own. But I studied. I'm still, after 50 years. Last Wednesday, just Wednesday gone by, I was 50 years in Ghana. I arrived on the Oriole boat from Liverpool we arrived at 12 o'clock noon on the 13th of October 1971.
I see.
And I'm here ever since.
You're here. Congratulations to you. I like the fact that you spoke about Wednesday. Wednesday was your 50th in Ghana. You were born on Wednesday, and so was I.
Born Wednesday,
27th March,
That's right,
1946. Yes. Looking back 50 years on, what would you say would be your highest point, being in Ghana doing humanity work, social work, ministerial work? What would be your highest point?
I think working with the lepers has always been a passion for me. Being with them, talking to them, praying with them, helping them, bringing them to hospital, just being with them. I'm always happy, just to be with them, to help them has always been my passion. I think I love being a priest. I think it's a blessing that God has given to me, that He called me to be a priest. And what is a priest doing is just continuing the work of Jesus Christ, of bringing love and compassion to others. And that's what I love doing. And I love doing no matter, I've been a chaplain in Usher Fort, in James Fort. I've been with Princess Marie Louise Children's Hospital. I've been in many different places. But sharing God's love with all of these has always been my passion. To see people who've given up. I've helped people who are going to commit suicide. I talk with them, pray with them, and encourage them. And I would help them. I'd help them and tell them what life is about. Right. That life is a challenge. We all get challenges. We all want to give up. But we don't give up, because our life is a life of hope. So when I see people like that I've helped, it's always given me encouragement. Or people that couldn't go to school and I've helped them. I don't want people to go through what I went through. I went through a lot.
Right.
And I don't want to. I've helped many young kids through school, different types of school, and now they're doing well.
Thank you.
That has helped me.
Thank
and
you.
also my work at St. Rose's Secondary School. I was there for 35 years.
Wow.
Once a term for 35 years, I gave the students a retreat there. Wow. So all those who passed through St. Rose, they all know Father. And I was always happy to be with them, because they were so good. Giving them a retreat, giving them hope, giving them encouragement, and just being with them. And now I meet them in Accra, I meet them at Coliview Hospital, I meet them at the Children's Hospital, I meet them in the banks, I meet them in everywhere. And they're always there willing to help me. Father, what can we do for you? You've helped us for 35 years now, we must come and help you.
Wow.
So just being with the people, and just that gives me that joy and that happiness, that life is beautiful.
It is.
I mean, I tell my young people now, look, I've made it. I've made it. I was a laborer. I was out working at the age of 13, cycling to work every day, but half an hour on the bicycle, whether it rained or snowed, it didn't matter. You came by bicycle to work. And I worked at 13. Now look at me now. I made it. I got my degree, my Bachelor of Divinity when I was in a seminary. I got my PhD last year.
Congratulations.
I got all of those. I made it.
You
but
did.
You will get better opportunities than I have. So you should even be better off. So if I made it, you can make it. So don't give up. Don't give up. Too many people give up. And I love being with the youth and just giving them that encouragement and giving them that support, no matter what. I made it, you can also make it.
And we appreciate your contribution to humanity, particularly for our brothers and sisters who have been inflicted with leprosy. You started the Wager Leprosarium.
Leprosarium is 71 years old. I've been with them for 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
So it was there, but I mean, we got to hear of it much more and got closer to them through you. Now you're retiring. What hope is there for them?
I'm living with them. I've decided to stay with them. And thanks to the District Assembly Common Fund, they have built various new facilities in Wager, also in others, a leprosary in Ho, we're going to help in Kokofu, they've built a laboratory, Ankoful, they've renovated some wards. But in Ho, they've got two beautiful compounds of 20 rooms each.
Okay.
and everyone will get a new room. So they have a new room, kitchen facilities, bathroom facilities. So 2 beautiful buildings, which tomorrow will be commissioned tomorrow. And then also a clinic with a research center, which will be the only research center in the west of Africa. So we're going to commission that one tomorrow. That's phase 1. Phase 2, they're going to build a nice auditorium for us and a warehouse and do the roads. That's phase 2. So Common Fund have been very, very good to us. We are very grateful to them for the assistance. When you see that, because the rooms they have now are just mud and cement put together, and 71 years is falling asunder, and it's a real mess. But now they have a brand new room, which we'll commission tomorrow. So I want to give them that hope, and to tell them, I'm always there telling them, look, we will help you no matter what. When you're sick, we will help you. When you're in need, we will help you. And since I'm living with them and I meet them every morning, go around and greet them and see how they are. There was one of the old men, he was sick there the night before last. I was with him in the hospital till 11 o'clock at night time, just to encourage him and support him and help him in every way.
I see. If you just joined us, we're live on TV3 and also live on 3FM 92.7 Community Connect. We're having a conversation with an icon, Reverend Father Andrew Campbell. Father, I know also that you have a project where you take care of street children, providing shelter for them, the soup kitchen, providing daily meals for them. What struck you to do that? How is it doing, by the way?
It's doing very well. I started it here when I was parish priest of Christ the King. And I noticed in the mornings people were coming to church, and then after Mass they were going to begging for their breakfast.
Right.
So I decided, let me start a kitchen, a small soup kitchen, and give these people breakfast every morning. And it started off with about 5 people. And it just grew and grew and grew. And in the 5.5 years that we've taken care of the soup kitchen, we fed over 300,000 children off the streets in those 5.5 years. So now Christ the King have got their own soup kitchen. Now I'm starting a new soup kitchen. Mother Teresa is an NGO, Mother Teresa, and I'm going to work hand in hand with social welfare. I'm going to get some land in Osu and build a nice soup kitchen there for them, because there's over 80 to 100,000 children on the streets, which is not right.
Not good.
It's not good. And I'm glad with Christ the King is doing very well. We've sent some children to secondary school, and they're now in secondary school. We've sent some to a vocational centre in the Shima, and they're also doing well. We're getting them off the streets, off the streets. So the new place in Osu will also help. And then I want to go to another phase. Somebody has given me land out in Bukwase, and also get more land out at Denta, which will be another stage. Taking care of them every day is stage 1. But stage 2 is where they can sleep as a family. Go to school every day, learn something, and when you graduate, we'll help you. Then you go to work and get off the streets. So that's phase 2.
That's your focus, that's your vision now.
So that's and I'm doing all this on my retirement.
You are one, Fifi Banson is watching now, one of our great broadcasters, says, you are one of the greatest human beings on earth. And I feel it. I feel it because everybody comes closer to you, no matter their religion, sect, race, color, whatever it is. And I say, you are celebrated and respected.
I'm just doing my ordinary work as a priest. I came up with a beautiful family, a wonderful family, and they taught me to love everybody, to help everybody. And all I'm doing is being myself. I just enjoy being a priest. I enjoy helping people. I can sit down with so many of them. I've sat down with prisoners, those who are condemned. I've prepared those for the firing squad. I've sat down with them. I've sat down with the prostitutes here at cantonments, given them encouragement and so forth. I've sat down with everybody. And I just want to be a priest.
That's
and
all.
What's my message? My message is one of hope. Don't give up, no matter what your life is. People criticize me for taking care of the prostitutes. And I wasn't happy to. I said, listen, these people are also part of us. I sat down with them, and one person went around the circle 3 times, and he asked me after, what are you doing? I said, I'm counseling these people. They would make confession to me. They would ask for confession. They'd ask for prayers. And these same people, don't condemn them.
Right.
Because I asked him, what hours do you keep? And he said, we keep from 9 o'clock at night until 4 the next morning. Then we go home on a Sunday morning. We go home and we change and we go to church. Now, who am I to condemn them? And they come to church. So one Sunday morning, after being with them on a Saturday night, one Sunday morning I was greeting everybody after church, and they were all after church, people go, hi Father, hi Father. Right. And then two beautiful young ladies come beside, hi Father. I said, hi. I said, how do I know you? Oh, Father, you met us last night, I'm not there to condemn. I want to give them hope. I want to tell them, don't stay on the streets. Let's get you off the And I've taken some off the streets, and I've put them through a catering school and the rest. No, they're no longer on the streets.
Wow.
So, let's bring them hope. Let's encourage them. Don't condemn them. We're not there to condemn anybody. We're not there to condemn prisoners.
It takes me to a very touchy subject, and the LGBTQIA+. You are talking about hope for prostitutes, hope for people that you've been able to reform and turn around. They are being condemned on many fronts. Would you give them hope, or what's your message?
No matter who, everybody is a child of God. When you read Philippians and you read Ephesians, especially Ephesians 2:10, you are God's work of art. St. Paul says every one of us is a work of art. We read, in the Psalm 8, that God made us in his image and likeness, in Genesis chapter 1. We're all made in the image and likeness of God. We're God's work of art. So no matter who you are, you're a child of God. Whether you're a prostitute, whether you're a prisoner, whether you're a street boy, no matter what. And everywhere I've gone, I've given everybody hope. Everybody, no matter who you are. No matter who you are. I've been in condemned cells, people for the firing squad. I didn't condemn them. I didn't condemn those young ladies at the cantonments.
Right.
I didn't condemn them. I didn't say you're dirty or you go off the street. I never judged anybody. I'm not there to judge you.
Right.
I'm not there to judge you.
You're there to give hope.
I'm there to help you. I'm there to encourage you and say, look, such and such, like those young ladies that came to church. They tell me every Christmas they give gifts to the poor people. Every Christmas they go to the Osu Children's Home and other places and they give gifts. This is from the prostitutes. And then we go to church. Who am I to condemn them? Yeah. But I'm trying to get them off the streets. So I prayed with them. I'd sit on the side of the road and I would pray with them. So the same too with our dear brothers and sisters who have been condemned. I would never condemn them. What they do is not correct. Make the distinction. The distinction is what Christ did. Love the sinner, but hate the sin.
Okay.
So love the sinner, and that's what I do. I have time for everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what you are. I have time for you. I'll pray with you. I'll encourage you. You're a child of God. You're a child of God, and if you're a child of God, God loves you,
right?
And He loves all of them. So this one,
Reverend Father Campbell, maybe my final question to you: you have been a priest for 50 years.
50 years.
Stay true to the call. I mean, you are on record to have been ordained at 24.
Yes, right.
Against the required age of 25.
That's right.
Special permission had to be sought from Rome so that you could be ordained. And not a single scandal has hit you. I'm sure the worrying conversations about some young priests who are now, hobnobbing with, people they're not supposed to be hobnobbing and not staying true to the faith. How did you survive 50 years staying true to the faith? And what kind of advice would you give to that young person at the seminary now, maybe at that crossroad, deciding what to do or not to do?
Beautiful question, beautiful. What has kept me going? I am not a social worker. I'm a priest with a mission.
Okay.
I'm a man of God, bringing Christ to others. If I don't have God in me, I cannot give you God. I remember one girl at Legon called me and said, I want to talk to you. I spent 3 hours with her. And I said, what do you want me to do for you? She says, show me God. Now, if I didn't have God, I cannot give her God.
Right.
We must have God within us. And how do we get in touch with God? Is through our prayer. I spend 1 hour every morning in prayer before I do anything. 1 hour quiet prayer before the Blessed Sacrament. That I do every day. I pray my rosary every day. I go to Mass every day. I go to communion, my Eucharist, my spiritual life. This is what keeps me going. If I didn't have my spiritual life, if I didn't have that time with God, and I make time with God. I am not a social worker. I'm a priest. I'm a man of God, doing the work for God, doing and helping people. So my advice would be the same advice as Mother Teresa gave to that young priest. A young priest came to Mother Teresa and said, Mother Teresa, I'm just ordained a priest. What advice do you give me? And he was thinking, she'd say, go and visit the lepers, go and visit the poor. She said, no. What she said was, my dear young priest, go and spend 1 hour in the chapel every day and pray to God. Do that and you'll be a good priest. So my advice to my young priests and seminarians are spiritual life. Remember who you are. You're a priest of God. You're not a social worker. You're there to bring Christ to others. But if you don't have Christ, you cannot give. You'll be empty. You'll be empty. I don't want to be a scandal to anybody. The devil is out to tempt us. And I think, that Satan was a special devil after each and every priest to pull us down, to discourage us. But you see, Christ is stronger than the devil. He's stronger. So with our prayer life, we fight the devil. We fight the devil and say, get behind me. Get behind me. Be able to do that work of God that I want. Because people have been so good. People pray for you. The encouragement I've got from people over these 50 years has been marvelous. They've encouraged me in my vocation.
All right. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Campbell. You've been as thoughtful as always. Grateful. Congratulations on the new state-of-the-art Leprosarium, which will be...
it's been commissioned tomorrow at 10 o'clock, so we invite everybody.
Everybody where?
All our friends. Oh yeah, I must tell you one thing, please. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to launch a scheme, Adopt a Granny scheme.
Okay.
You see, now that we have we're visiting the various leprosary, I want to look for 200 people.
Okay.
For 200 people, and they'll give me 100 CDs a month.
Okay.
So I want to adopt somebody. You come, Father, I'll adopt such and such. I'll give you a name. I'll tell you which leprosarium you'll be in. Then you'll come, give the money to me, and I'll buy the food for him, and you'll help him. You'll
I am number
him.
one.
I've got two. I've got number 1, 2, number 3. You're number 4.
I'm number 4.
You're number 4.
Okay, I'm number 4.
I want 5,
Cookie
6,
is number
7.
5.
Who'll be number 5?
My co-host, she's number 5.
Good. That's 4 and 5.
So 5
good,
now.
Good,
We're
good.
counting.